Oh, here at a dejected FedEx Field, Scott Jackson, Fred Smoot Titans hold off the Commanders 21-17 as they come up. As a 2 yards? Is this like 2 yards? Is that right? Look, hey. I'm trying to reach my arms. Did I have a 6-foot wingspan? That's 2 yards.
Hey, Jack.
That is the end of it today as they drive the ball down the field. A chance to win, but come up short and now have lost the last four, Fred. 1-4, and they're going to cancel Christmas if they don't win on Thursday.
Hey.
I have already been told. Confirmed it with Santa Claus.
Jack, I threw up in my own mouth. Like, it was too close, but yet so far away. It was all the right plays until you picked the wrong play. It was, you are the hero, I think you are, Carson Wentz. To now you didn't messed up the church's money. Like, at the end of the day, this was an emotional roller coaster from the first quarter to the last quarter. But that last drive, like I said, I threw up in my own mouth. I had to swallow it. I'm sick, Jack. I'm sick.
We are sick. We're going to get in the locker room here in a bit. We're going to get to your calls. Speaking of sick, 1-800-493-1003. If you're joining us on the YouTube, it is a glorious day at FedEx Field. I mean, that's the thing that really sucks about all this is it's so nice out here. It's fall weather. It's beautiful. It's sunny. There was no rain. There was no humidity. There's nothing bad about the weather except for the game. Unless, of course, you were a Titans fan and there were one or two of you there.
The Titans, this is what the Titans did. First of all, they drove an 18-wheeler up here by the name of Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they did.
All right, the thing about that is it's hard to stop 18-wheeler once it starts to roll. Now, what we did do in the fourth quarter was we did stop him when we had to. So I can't get mad at the defense. I can get mad about some big plays that they gave up earlier in the game. But at the end of the game, they made the plays they were supposed to be making. And now we drive the ball, how much, 86, 87 yards?
Yeah.
And you tell
88.
me, and you can't get 2 inches?
Give us 2 yards.
2 inches?
2 yards.
My grandma could have failed for 2 inches. She could have rolled her wheelchair for 2 inches. Jack, I am distraught. I ain't got too much to say. You know? I'm the bearer of the truth.
I mean, look, the Titans have been one of these teams that are horrible in the second half, right? Before today, they had 1 second-half touchdown. They get their second today, and they hold off the Commanders. Again, compared to the last 2 weeks, this was a Picasso, obviously, because the last 2 weeks, you've had 8 and 10 points collectively. Today, 17 felt like a huge offensive outing, but it wasn't. In the end, a lot of yards, a lot of empty calories, 21-17. And now you got to go to Chicago on a very short week.
Very short
week to get the Bears. We'll get into the locker room here in a bit. We are brought to you by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. And pay nothing until 2025. Visit windownation.com. All right. So let's start with this. All right, you had the big return of Brian Robinson Jr. today.
Yes, we did.
Obviously, they could not run the football today. I mean, the one thing you know about the Titans, you mentioned the 18-wheeler named Derrick Henry. Yep. They have an identity. Like, you know what you're getting when they come off the bus. This Commanders team, we still have no idea what the identity is. We're into week 5, and going into week 6.
Yep.
We're still trying to figure it out. We don't know.
Well, you know what? I was always told when you start fights with people you can't beat, you get beat up. All right, we started a fight that we could not finish today. Did we drive the ball? Did we prove what we can do? Yes, we can be a dynamic team. Yes, can we hit people for 75 yards? Yes, we can. All right, can we score touchdowns? Yes, we can. But can we do it when we need it, Jack? Because what we needed at the end of this game was to complete this drive and win this game. And like you said, short week to Chicago. I don't know. Are you ready to cancel Christmas already, Jack?
If you lose in Chicago, you have to cancel Christmas. I've talked to Santa Claus about this. So no, but I mean, look, if you're 1-5, I don't need to tell you the percentages, Fred. They're not good, and this is not 2020 NFC East where you could get in at 7-9.
No, you're not,
because we played 17 games, first of all.
Yeah.
So you'd have to do 7-10. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to win double-digit games to be a wild card potentially this year, even. So. It's going to be very difficult. There's still a lot of football between now and then, but, man, it's going to hurt really bad if you can't at least get a split going into your mini-bye. Because you don't have a real bye, obviously, until December.
I would say the
worst possible schedule you could ever have.
The thing about it is also what you want to do is get the wins now. You want to get that rolling now.
Harvest your nuts while you can. Eddie Jordan gave you the formula for this years ago with the Wizards.
And that's what it's about.
Harvest those nuts right now.
And before you get inside of the interdivisional play, before we start playing the Philadelphia Eagles again, the Cowboys, the Giants again, luckily the best thing we got going for us is we play Daniel Jones twice. Other than that, I don't know.
Whoa. You mean 4-1 Daniel Jones? You just beat the Packers in London, Daniel Jones?
Hey, that 4-1 is fruit game.
Yesterday's punchline is today's 4-1 team. That's the other thing. So now the Commanders 1-4. The Giants, who are supposed to be the worst team in the world, are 4-1. And again, I'm just going to throw out something. Coaching staff can help a team. Can it not?
No. It
can
can't help but tell.
Yeah.
We both
Brian
know that.
Dable has helped this team a lot.
Hey, I had
compared to Joe Judge.
I had Coach Zorn. I know that coaches can help you. I went from Coach Zorn to Joe Gibbs. Right. Oh, I know what the truth is, all right?
All right, so that's where they are, but let's worry about this team right now.
All right,
so Ryan Robinson today, I think the numbers were 8 for 22. Like, his first run
was 8 yards.
Was 8 yards. Of course, gets called back because there's a hold. I mean, this has just kind of been the story with this team this year with these penalties just absolutely killing them. And that was a frustrating thing to see. Then, of course, you had, as the game went on, a team that just could not run the football at all. I mean, they could not run the football throughout this game. So they really had to rely on the pass, and Carson Wentz, a lot of bad snaps. The penalties were a problem again today. I'm not really sure what they have to do there with, the center exchange with the shotguns, but Nick Martin is kind of rolling some back there. This guard, Carson Wentz's fumbles, but clearly it's not all on Carson Wentz when that's taking place. I mean, he's leaning down trying to catch these, errant snaps all the time.
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I'm all hooked up here. I never stopped talking for that long and give you all the props that long, Jack. I had to keep rolling.
We've lost our audio, our headphones here, yeah.
Hey, but you know what? This was a microcosm of the season. We yet so close, yet so far away. Yes, can we make plays? Yes, we can. Can we make them when we need them? That's the thing about them. Can we make them when it's crunch time? That's what it means. Like that's what make a Tom Brady different than every other quarterback in the league is. We know and we feel like these plays should be made, but yet and still we on this emotional roller coaster. Listen, unlike you, Jack, I still have a lot of hair in my head. I almost lost all of it in that last 30 minutes. All of my hair was almost gone.
I got hair here. It's just thin in the back part right up here.
Oh, no. They ball, he ball, and Jack ball. You ball, y'all ball. Listen to you. We apologize because we did it to y'all. We apologize. We apologize for making half of the DMV ball-headed. We gave everybody alopecia. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't make jokes about that or Will Smith will knock you out. All right. So Titans win it today 21-17. And, again, here let's go on a couple good things for a minute.
Yeah.
Then we'll get back to the bad stuff.
All right.
We already talked about the penalties, frustration there. Like you said, where are the playmakers? I mean, we had some plays made, but when you needed them in crunch time, you needed a play to be made. Diami Brown, the next man up, right? He's the guy replacing Jahan Dodson today. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
We've been waiting on this for a while, obviously, since last year, and it was good to see him be able to get that and them to get the matchups they wanted.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Diami Brown showed up to play. Like people have been doubting. What did we do with that third pick of that year? Is he going to develop into the player where he had a chance, he took advantage of? But I want to talk about what the truth is, and the truth is Terry McLaurin. And at the end of that game, on that deep crossing route that you threw to Cam Sim, Terry had everybody scared. The janitor was scared. The coaches were scared. Everybody was scared. Like at one point, if you got a star wide receiver, you need to start getting him the ball. Like Terry McLaurin, get him the ball. He won't say anything, though. Terry too nice of a guy. But if Fran Smoot was the wide receiver, I had to write a book like Keyshawn Johnson. Just throw me the damn ball.
Let's go to the locker room. London Fletcher standing by with head coach Ron Rivera.
Coach, you get down first and goal on the 2. How tough is that loss?
It's a very tough one. It really is, London. We had opportunities. We had opportunities with a couple of plays, and we missed those chances. You got to give them credit. It was a heck of a play by their linebacker, great read, and he stepped in front of the ball.
What did you see on that last play? You mentioned him stepping in front of the ball.
It's one of those things that if maybe perhaps he gets the ball a little bit quicker, but then that means he's almost predetermined where he's throwing the ball. I really, unless I get a chance to really look at it on tape, I got to give that guy credit.
Coach, again, penalties were an issue for us. Nine penalties. What do you have to do to get you guys to play better and not commit as many penalties?
Well, I think one of the things that we've got to do as far as a team is just understand our situation, circumstances. We get backed up. We're trying to hard count, long counts, get them to jump, get a couple of and it backfires, and we just got to be aware of the situation.
Sure, we got a game coming up on Thursday night. What's your message to your guys getting ready for that game against the Bears?
Oh, the key is get over with this one and get ready for the Bears. I mean, we're going to go into Monday tomorrow. As far as we're concerned, we're moving on to the Bears. So once these guys show up at the facility, it's on to Bears.
All right, Coach, thanks. Scott and Smoot, back to you.
All right, thank you, London. So on to Cincinnati kind of feel, on to Chicago. If you guys know
on to Chicago, on to the Shy. Yeah. Luckily, they got the same bad luck we got with the football guys right now. Nothing is going their way, but that's a statement game next week. Like, if you do not win that game next week, it's all chaos. Like, you have to beat the Chicago Bears, who's not been putting up a lot of points. But let's be honest, they the Bears. They can play some defense, and we haven't squared well against good defenses this year.
Look, defensively today, a lot of good things. Still not any takeaways, but a lot of pressure today. Your guy, Montez Sweat, came out and was hungry today from the jump, was really impactful. That as the game went on, Obata joined the crew. James Smith-Williams. Of course, John Allen, as he has the entire season,
the run
was a record.
The front played well tonight. The front played well enough to win this game. And you got to realize, Sweat probably left the game with 2.5 sacks. He's supposed to have 3 or 4. All right, that's just how they got after the quarterback today. But at the end of the day, can you do it when it needs to be done? They got them off the field on defense, and you said it before. We paying these DBs to be thieves. I pay you to be a cat burglar, but they not stealing anything. Like, if you're not stealing anything, I can't take it to the pawn shop. At the end of the day, I need somebody to go out here and get balls, and we saw a circumstance today where my guy, Dollar Bill Jackson III, did you see that they benched him today?
Early, yeah. It was. I want to say it was late first quarter. Yeah. Second quarter was entirely outstanding without a helmet. At first I thought maybe he was hurt. Concussion protocol or something. But yeah, interesting stuff. So we'll hear more about that a little bit later on. We'll get a calls 800-493-1003. We'll get back in the locker room here in a bit. We're going to get a timeout here. Commanders lose to the Titans today at home.
Oh, they hurt
finished
so
2
bad.
yards shy of winning 21-17 the final. You're watching the Command Center postgame live on Washington Commanders YouTube channel, and you're listening to Washington Commanders football.
Whiskey.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
You ever wonder why people are always on their phones? They're banking with Bank of America. Look at this guy. He bought those tickets on his credit card, and he's racking up the rewards.
She's using Zelle to pay him back for the hot dogs he's about to buy.
That's going to bring it to
and
a
the
close
announcer?
here after 3.
He's not checking the stats. He's finding some investment ideas with Merrill.
And third, as you know, in baseball means 3.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?
Finding the Honda you really want just got easier. With a longer limited warranty, so long. And complimentary oil changes within the first year. You've never been more at peace than with Honda Certified Pre-Owned.
It's your turn.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
Is the
Back with you at FedEx Field. Titans hold off the Commanders 21-17. Remember that old you're probably too young for this, Fred.
Of course not.
But you remember the old ABC Wide World of Sports, and they'd go, and the agony of the feet, and you see that ski jumper just do like 500 circles, and the one ski. That's how this ending felt today for the Washington Commanders and their fans who were here at FedEx Field. 21-17 the final. I do have some good news.
Talk to me. What you got,
Since
Jack?
the Commanders scored a couple extra points today, make sure you visit your local Paisanos tomorrow, and you will receive 2 extra points. 2 extra free toppings. You get 2 toppings free all day long because of the 2 extra points. Thank you, Joey Sly. Well, the offense had to get in the end zone. Got anything.
You got to love that. I wish it was.
For once, you're too low, Fred.
I wish it was 3 toppings. I wish it was not only pepperoni,
right.
sausage, and a win. All right, that's how them the only
Right.
toppings I needed right there.
All right, well, there we got pepperoni. We got a cheese pizza. I guess they had that on standby just in case. I don't know what had spooked them into that the last few weeks. But anyway.
And let me ask you this, Jack. With my kids, cheese pizza seems to be the #1 pizza.
Really?
When did that happen?
I don't know. That's disgusting.
Hey, because I love my pizza to have some dressing. I like it I like it to look the part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need some meat on it. You want to get some of the numbers? They're not wonderful, but let's get to them. Presented by Novak, powering a bright future for you. 17 first down for the Commanders to the Titans 15. Again, that last drive added a lot of numbers here. Let's get that in perspective. Boy, they were 1 of 11 on 3rd down today.
You can't win with it. Can't win with it. Can't win like that.
They had a 1 for 2 on the 4th downs, of course, one of which was that final drive. The last one was not converted. 4 for 14 of 3rd down efficiency today as well for the Titans. So the Commanders' defense, again, doing a good job there. Total plays ended up looking fairly even, but for most of the game, it was the Titans that had the ball, had the time of possession. They still had a 32-40 time of possession advantage to 27-20. Even though there was that long ending game drive for the Commanders, 385 yards for Washington, 241 for the Titans when it was all said and done. Again, penalties, big problem for the Commanders. They had 9 for 71. Well, the Titans didn't help themselves either, 8 for 69. And the 1 turnover, obviously the big turnover that ends a game, although really you have to make a play there at the end. Although that was, I guess, you could have had an incompletion and had one more play because that was 3rd down. My mistake. So either way, not good. Commanders come up short. And, look, it was –
they say numbers don't lie. They do sometimes.
Yeah, they do. Because Carson Wentz, 25 of 38, 358, 2 TDs and a pick. It was not a smooth operation for the offense today.
No, it
outside
wasn't.
of a couple big plays in that last drive until the end.
And that's why you got to ask yourself, like you said, who are we?
Right.
What is our identity? On defense, we can rush the passer, but we can't turn the ball over. So that defeats the purpose. On offense, we can hit the big play, but we can't get the play that we need. We can't get that 3rd down. We can't get that 4th down. So we can make big plays, or can we? So who are we? The real Washington Commanders, please stand up. Please show me who you are. Please show me that we can end these games. I thought the game was set up perfect for Wentz to put his stamp on this team. And then we came up short. And I think that emotionally going to have a lot of people sick with us in this post-game show, Jack.
Yeah, no doubt. And we'll get to calls here in a minute. 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003. We'll get back in the locker room here in a minute. Ron Rivera, I guess, summed it up saying, he had his moments in offense, but obviously having moments and being consistent is not enough. Also, that interestingly enough today with the offense, Scott Turner, after 4 games, was back up in the booth and not on the sideline anymore.
And I think maybe he can see better that way. Like, some people can see the field better that way. And some offensive coordinators like to sit in the booth so they can see the defense from the rear.
Right.
And I think that's what happened up there at the booth, because I don't think he called a bad game. I thought he called a pretty good game today. I thought it was all about execution. I thought you can't blame Scott Turner. Everybody want to say, why we didn't run? Why we didn't run? If we run the ball with no time out and all the time gone, now you're crying about that. And if you're going to cry about that, what the baby going to do? Like I ask you all the time, what the baby going to do? All right, so at the end of the day, we had to pass the ball. I just thought it should have been a go-to 2-point conversion call that you called there, a play that you can make big things happen.
All right, London Fletch is standing by with one of the players who made a big impact today, Diami Brown. Go ahead, London.
Diami, nice ball game by you. 2 receptions for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns on those catches. How did it feel to finally get in the end zone?
It felt amazing. My rookie year, I didn't get in the end zone, so it's about time. And it's a blessing. Thanks to the Most High.
Yeah. In the second quarter, you catch the 75-yard pass against Wentz. Was that a situation where you guys saw the look and you knew you'd be able to get that shot and take it? It was a matter of Carson having the time and you making a play once you got that opportunity?
Oh, yeah, we definitely saw that throughout the week preparation, and we pretty much communicated that. If that safety came down, we had to post over the top, and that's pretty much what happened.
What was going through your mind when you saw that ball being launched?
Oh, no, ball in there, that's me. I need it. I need it. I've been waiting on it, and I need it. So
on your second touchdown, Carson audible. It seemed like he saw man-to-man coverage by the Tennessee Titans, saw a single high safety, and he audible to the slot fade. How did it feel to know that he audible and you were going to get another opportunity? You make a one-handed catch with your left hand.
I think that's just him trusting me, and a quarterback, they see certain things, and we could have had a few guys, that could have got the ball on that play. But, he had trusted in me from out the first one. We just had to make the catch.
All right, man. Appreciate you joining me. All right, keep it up.
Yes, sir.
Back to you, Scott and Smoot.
All right, London. Well,
I'm happy for Diami Brown. He right. He needed that. After last year, him always being the guy, we thinking we had a playmaker, and him not showing up and making plays. Like they say, it only takes one play to show you that you belong in this league. Then he comes back and make the one-hand catch.
The one-handed catch is more impressive than the first catch, wasn't it?
Yeah, especially when I had accused him of having kangaroo arms. I accused him of having short arms at first. They couldn't reach to the ball. But then not only does he make that long pass, long catch for the 75 yards, he come back with the one-hander, which was pretty. And they just show you one play can change the whole swag of a football player.
Yeah, no doubt. That was good to see. Look, he made some plays today. You always see the next man up mentality. He was a guy who was thought, last year had high expectations on him, never really lived up to him, but obviously today comes through when they needed him to without Jahan Dotson as well. So we'll just hope to see that again Thursday if he, again, has to go with the situation.
He's going to have to go. Like, listen,
you think Dotson's out again this week?
You're not coming back from a soft tissue. If you miss this game, you're not coming back on a short week. They're just not. Especially, why rush him back if Diami showed you could do that? And we know what Cam Sims could do. Like, come on, give Cam Sims some more burn. Nobody cares about where he was drafted at. All he does is make plays. And I did have a Cole Turner alert. Tried to get Cole Turner the ball on a couple of them. He was up and on the fade route that Carson Wentz could have got him the ball. I'm happy to see Cole Turner out there too. I'm gonna be shocked if he don't make any plays against Chicago Bears.
All right, this is one of the things that is fascinating, shocking.
It's my hairline?
Fascinating, that too.
All right.
Is the fact that your microphone's lower than mine, number one. Number two is the fact that there is no tight end in this offense right now. Like, very rarely is there tight end. Today, John, Bates made some plays.
Yeah,
but,
he did. Outside the numbers, not inside the hash.
No, never inside the numbers.
Yeah.
And Logan Thomas, prior to being out this week, has been, he had his moments early in the season, has been not part of the offense for the last few weeks.
I think
that's shocking to me because, again, Carson Wentz's MO –
tight
likes
ends.
the tight ends, needs a catch radius guy, this, that, and the other, and then for whatever reason the tight end has not been incorporated in this offense.
Well, you know what? And that's why we haven't been stringing together any long drives. No tight end, no long drive. Tight end is your third down killer. Tight end is your third down mover. Tight ends are your chain mover. Tight ends are your safe throws. And the reason all our throws been high percentage boom or bust is because we haven't been throwing to the tight end who is the safety valve. Like, that's what you got to ask yourself. I think Logan Thomas, one, is not healthy. I didn't think he came into the season healthy, and I don't think he's healthy now. I think they want to get Cole Turner the ball, but it's going to take him a little while to play his self into game shape. John Bates remind me of Jay Novacek. And Jay Novacek never did anything particularly great. He just was good at a little bit of everything, and John Bates give you that. So, I think they need to focus on getting the ball to the tight ends. Also got to focus on getting the running game right there. Got to have a running game. No running game, no chance.
All right, let's throw it down to Julie Donaldson standing by with Carson Wentz. Julie?
Carson, the way that this game came to an end, the chances were out there, and you're moving the ball, over 350 passing yards. But how frustrating is this loss in particular, the way that it did go down?
Tough, very tough. Bit of an emotional roller coaster there at the end. Obviously, you get down and get the pass interference into the end zone, so you're like, all right, we got 3 or 4 shots at the end zone. And you're feeling very confident in the plays and everything. And to end the way we did, obviously, with the interception, it's tough. It's a tough one to swallow there at the end. But, it's a short week, and we got to bounce back and learn from it as quick as we can.
You always are saying how the NFL comes at you quickly. What do you do now when you only have a few days to try and get ready to go on the road for Chicago? Like, what mindset do you have to adjust to?
Yeah, I mean, things happen fast. This is physically the hardest week of the season, I think, for everybody, just getting their body back ready to go for Thursday night. And then it's a fast turnaround mentally. But sometimes that's a blessing in disguise, especially after a tough emotional loss like this, to just bounce back and just say, hey, we got to move on. And we say it every week. Unfortunately, we're on a little skid right now. But, I think this can serve us well to just say, hey, we got to move on and let's go play fast and go play our game and keep it simple. And hopefully we can go down there and get a win.
And it seems like, once again, penalties became just a frustrating challenge for you. Third down conversion, something that just became another challenge for you. When you sit back and look at those situations, what is it that you guys can try to do to change that direction?
Yeah, we're going to have to watch film and kind of talk through that one. Obviously, they made some good plays on some of the third downs, but the penalties, some of that stuff, I got to help out the guys. Some communication things, even at home, like we got to be better. We got to clean up some of those things that can definitely kill and derail some drives that we had today. And unfortunately, it happened yet again. So we got to talk through those and get those things ironed out ASAP.
No Jahan Dotson, but it was great to see Diami Brown go out there and have the 2 catches that he did for touchdowns. To have Brian Robinson Jr. back, what can you say about other guys stepping up in those opportunities?
Yeah, guys did a great job. Yeah, I mean, Diami had 2 big chances there and made 2 amazing plays. That was seen it all training camp, seen it all offseason. A lot of faith and confidence in his ability to step up. And obviously, he hasn't had a ton of opportunities this far, but for him to do that today and do what he did was awesome to see. A big emotional uplift for the offense, seeing Brian Robinson get out there. I don't know what the numbers were, all of that, but I know emotionally it definitely was big for us, and hopefully we can keep him going and keep getting better.
All right, Carson, thank you. We'll see you in Chicago.
Thank you.
Let's to Scott and Fred.
All right, thank you, Julie. Carson Wentz after today's 21-17 loss to the Titans. All right, we'll get back to this loss today. We'll get to phone calls at 1-800-493-1003. We'll talk about the offensive line, Fred. Some better things today, a little bit less pressure, but there were the penalties, and there were some key breakdowns, and it looked like it was coming from one particular area. Yep. We will get into that coming up and whether or not that needs to be tweaked lineup-wise, and can it be here in the near future. We'll talk about that. It's the official postgame show. You're watching Command Center Postgame Live on Washington Commanders YouTube channel and listening to the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
Dude. Fire. Grill master, huh?
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
Finding the Honda you really want just got easier. With a longer limited warranty, so long. And complimentary oil changes within the first year. You've never been more at peace than with Honda Certified Pre-Owned.
Washington Commanders football is back, and so is our BOGO. On game day, buy 1 large pizza and get a 2nd large pizza for free. Order online or download the app today. Paisanos, official pizza partner of the Washington Commanders.
No, we're not making you start the day over. It's not Groundhog's Day. Welcome back. It's the post-game show, for goodness sakes. 21-17. Titans beat the Commanders today. Diami Brown, one of his 2 touchdowns. You heard to call him Bram Weinstein and Julie Donaldson there at the end. And, well, that was worthy of the offensive player of the game. Brought to you by Victory Van Moving and Storage, delivering excellent service for 75 years and a proud partner of the Washington Commanders. So,
so
Brown,
you go with Diami.
Yeah, you got it.
And did you do that because of Wentz's last throw?
No. I mean, Diami had some big plays. Let's throw it back down to the locker room. It's standing by Julie and London. Guys?
No, we're all good. Connor, all good, all this stuff.
All right, no. Okay, thank you. Never mind. Sorry, my bad.
It's not the first time you messed
I fumbled
up,
the snap. I mean,
it happens.
Nick Martin rolled it to me, and then I fumbled it. My bad. All right, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, let's talk about the offensive line for a second. What to make of the left guard, Andrew Norwell? I mean, look, this isn't the first week we've talked about guards. They moved Trey Turner out of the lineup.
Yeah, they did.
I know
they're to right.
Right. I know there are limited options at this point.
Yeah.
Because of the Schweitzer injury. However, I mean, at what point do you just say, could Chris Paul develop into something? Can we give it a shot? I mean,
like you said before, it's not a lot of left guards sitting at home right now that could take us to a super another level. But you cannot continue to watch this guy get kicked out the club every week. Week in and week out, anytime somebody's going backward and sitting in the quarterback's lap, it's the left guard. Anytime we get a false start or something like that, or penetrations by Simmons, another Bulldog.
I mean, look, Simmons is a stud. He's a game wrecker.
Yeah, he's a game wrecker.
He's a game wrecker, no question.
And I'm not shocked that Jeffrey Simmons, was making plays.
Right.
But you got to stop somebody.
Yeah, you do.
This guy can't stop a nosebleed. Like this guy right here.
And false starts. And to top it off, if it wasn't on skates or getting – I mean, he was upright. I mean, he just got literally just knocked back. If it wasn't that, it was, the false starts were just driving you crazy. I mean, you just can't have it. I mean, it's absolute drive killers. And at some point, again, you're keeping you're making William Jackson accountable. I mean, he's your highest paid defensive player, okay?
Yeah, and you benched him.
Yeah, and you benched him, okay.
You put William
okay. Well, then can you bench one of these, Commanders? I mean, we already benched one of them. Let's bench the other guy. If you can't get it done, you got to find somebody else.
Well, you know what happens when you lose a game like this? Nobody's safe.
Yes.
Nobody's job safe. High alert in there. I'm sure they're looking at film, and I'm sure they're seeing the same thing we seeing. Guys getting kicked out the club. Well, start letting them go to the club. All right, start letting them in. All right, at the end of the day, let somebody else try to earn their position. And let's be honest. If I'm being honest in an honest world, our best guard is Sam Cosmi. All right? But you're forcing him to play right tackle.
Now, when he comes back, maybe that's what you do.
No, he's a guard. Have you seen the length of Sam?
Right, what I'm saying. I mean, that might be your solution because, the theory of your best five.
Yeah.
Like they like to say in basketball, positionless basketball now.
Lucas held up.
But, Lucas has always been good. Lucas has played left tackle here.
Yeah.
He's played right tackle here. I mean, whatever you need Lucas to do, he's always solid. So, I mean, at this point, that's a liability. That's a problem. That snaps were a problem today. The penalties, again, problem.
Couple low snaps.
Inconsistencies. I mean, Carson, was going high at times as well. So, I don't know. There's a lot of things going haywire here as well. All right, 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003. Commanders fall to the Titans today, 21-17. Before we move on, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
CJ.
All right, back here on the Official Commanders postgame show.
Hey, I got to say something to CJ who said I wasn't a good tackler. Hey, first of all, Mr. CJ, I didn't have to tackle nobody because I didn't let him catch it. All right, that's the way it go. That's the way it go. Yeah. I used to end the game with 3 breakups, a pick, and no tackles. How about that?
Fred Smoot, by the way, who has just sat here with me for, the past 5 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Has as many interceptions as the Commanders' cornerbacks do this year.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. And I've logged no snaps.
Right.
No
and he's just as many interceptions as they do, okay?
Just as many as they do.
All
so
right.
at the end of the day.
So leave Fred alone.
That's what I'm telling you, right? But guess what? If I had feelings, he could hurt him. Luckily, I ain't got no feelings.
I like it. All right. The Crown Royal safe drive of the game brought to you by Crown Royal. Live generously and life will treat you royally. I really thought it was going to be the last drive, but it wasn't. Instead, we've got to go with the drive in the fourth quarter where Diami Brown caught it for Carson Wentz with one hand. It was a 6-play, 80-yard drive, 3 minutes, 14 seconds. Diami Brown with the second touchdown of the day. That was your safe drive of the game brought to you by Crown Royal, which I think will be well used tonight by many Commanders
Crown
fans.
Royal, Diami, look, mama, no hands. All right, that's what it is.
No doubt. All right, let's get a timeout. We'll get to some phone calls here in a bit. Also, 800-493-1003 to remind you, 800-493-1003. Somebody wants to talk about the last segment of plays at the 2. We can do that. Why no run? You had your say. This guy's got a thought on it as well. We'll talk about it when we come back, and we'll get to your phone calls here on the Official Commanders postgame show. You're watching on the Command Center postgame live on the Commanders YouTube channel, and you're listening to Washington Commanders football.
No hands.
From selecting the perfect produce and triple checking its quality to preparing it for you, we have perfected the art of fresh.
This is Maya Titan. She's smiling because her small culinary supply store, Titan's Pans, is up and running. And this is NFL star Derrick Henry, accidentally tagging Titan's Pans instead of his loyal fans. Which, very unexpectedly, has her business trending. And trending, and trending, and oh my. And there goes the internet. Good thing Maya uses FedEx to help prepare for unexpected demand. Because you never know what's next.
Come on, Mr. Sanders, focus.
Jamie Foxx, what's up, my man?
What up, Barry? Got time to chat bets?
Yeah.
All right, good. So we got Cincy over Cleveland, right?
Boom, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Now, parlay time. Would you put Miami in with L.A., Vegas, and
Oh,
Denver?
no, terrible.
I was feeling that, though.
What did Jamie Foxx want?
Oh, I've got no idea. Come on, serve it up.
Commanders lose to the Titans 21-17. Today's game broadcast is presented by iHeartRadio's 97.1 Wash FM here in the DMV. Clearly a rewarding moment of the game was just seeing Brian Robinson run through the tunnel today. And
it was awesome.
That was nice to see. Brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. Look, again, it's frustrating going back to the penalties from the last segment. His first run's 8 yards. He gets called back due to a hold. I mean, it's just like, again.
That's a sample of the season.
Yeah, just kind of every time you get behind the chains, you know, the false starts. paid their price today as well. A lot of frustrating stuff there, and then there was an offsetting situation too with the Commanders and the Titans after it looked like the Commanders were getting off the field. I think they still got on the field there, but it was just another thing where you gave an opportunity for the Titans to get it back.
2 steps forward, 3 steps back. That's what it's been. We get in our own way. We our own problem. Sometimes when you want to know, God, what's going on in my life? Maybe it's you. Maybe you need to look in the mirror sometime and say it's you. Like I said.
Me?
Yeah, it was you.
Not me. I had nothing for the penalties.
Sometimes when we look in there, we think we better than we are.
Sitting up there eating free press box food.
Yeah,
okay?
that's what I'm saying.
My own business.
Sometimes we think we're better than we are. And when we walked in this season, we thought we was a dime piece. Now it turns out we are a dime piece. It's just with a dead tooth in our mouth. So now we're not as attractive as you think we are. So that's what I'm saying. We need a reality check. We need to figure out a way to end these games. And like I said, at the end of the day, if Carson is our commander, I think he's going to have to show us we're winning these games, especially on these last plays of the game.
All right. We're working on some phone issues, apparently.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
We're going to hopefully get that solved here in a minute. 800-493-1003. Let me get to the tweet here, since this is the only way to communicate at this moment. From our man Vaughn, it says, goal line on the 2, run, don't make it, spike the ball. What do you think about that?
Hey, first of all, Vaughn, turn on another channel and watch another game. Because if we run that ball and the Titans get lazy and lay on our guys and we can't get up and spike that ball, this coaching staff might get fired. All right, listen to me.
Well, here's better yet. Why was the clock not stopped after the Samuel 8-yard game with 28 ticks to go? I'm still confused as to that. He went out of bounds.
Ran over the ref.
The Commanders had to burn a timeout after that play. I guess that was actually with 36 seconds left. They had to burn a timeout, which was 28 seconds, sorry. They had to burn their last timeout. He was out of bounds. I don't understand what happened there, why the officials, they said, I guess his momentum was caught up in bounds. It sure didn't look like it.
I want to show some love to the NFL for having the first blind referee a game, because everybody's seen that. Everybody's seen that. Everybody's seen the play was out of bounds, but we don't get those calls, and the players can't say it. The coach can't say it.
Well, they say it all the time,
so I'm going to say it.
They've been saying it a lot this year.
It's BS the way they referee us. It's BS the way my punter, Tress Way, has got ran through 3 weeks in a row. I've watched my punter get flipped upside down 3 weeks in a row. We haven't even got a 5-yard flag. I watched him go out of bounds. Curtis Samuel, you don't stop the clock.
Seems like the punter is open season against his team.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, hey, I want to bring it to the NFL attention. How about you watch our game? How about when you grade these officials, you grade them doing our game? Maybe you can hold them accountable. Maybe send us some people, some officials that can actually see out of their left and right eye. How about you do that?
I will say this, the field position game, that guy Stonehouse is a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
Ryan Stonehouse.
Yeah.
He had a hell of a game today. Apparently he's always good as well. And he has been doing this all season long. But that was very frustrating to watch him blow that thing through. I mean, that was incredible. He was killing them. I mean, every time he thought they had him on field position, he would flip the field for the Titans today. That was frustrating to watch.
Special teams can be special for you any day you want to. And that's why I got to talk about Dax Milne, too. Dax Milne is a safe punt returner. He's a safe kickoff returner. Well, I ain't in the safe game, Jack. I don't care about being safe. I want explosive. There's no reason why Antonio Gibson shouldn't be turning kickoffs and Curtis Samuel shouldn't be returning punts and switching the field for us, too. We also got some athletes that can make it happen. How about we let them make it happen? I don't want to hear nothing about this bubble wrap, trying to protect them, trying to save them. It's football. People get hurt playing football. We know it before we signed up. Let these guys go out there and play football.
All right, we'll get to the podium of Rivera coming up in the next hour. Got another segment this hour. Again, 800-493-1003, working through some phone issues. Hope to get to you here in a bit. You're watching Command Center postgame live on the Washington Commanders YouTube channel and listening to the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
It's time to take your adventure off-road in a Toyota truck. Buy a Tacoma now with 2.49% APR financing. Or hit the trail in a 4Runner, ready for the toughest terrain, with the best resale value of any off-road SUV for 22, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. See your dealer and reserve yours today. Toyota, let's go places.
The modern world is a digital world. At home, at work, or on the go. We rely on data every day. Losing it can result in lost family photos, lost business, or even a lost job. Want to avoid these problems? You need cyber protection, where backup and cybersecurity meet. Only Acronis offers backup solutions that also stop ransomware before your files are damaged. It's easy, efficient, and secure cyber protection for all your data. Try Acronis free for 30 days. Go to acronis.com today for modern cyber protection.
All right, 21-17, Titans hold off the Commanders as the Commanders drove it all the way down to the 2. Carson Wentz picked off on 3rd and 2, ends the game. Although initially it was a return. It looked like there was going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, Carson threw himself in harm's way.
They made the players come back on the field. This was insane. Because at first we were told they were saying it was incomplete, but no, what they were saying he was down by contact.
Yeah.
So then the Titans have to come out, run one play to get it out of their end zone, basically, and that's the game. Anyway.
Hey,
what a disaster that was.
Maybe if they either looked at the play closer, maybe it was a safety because he caught the ball and rolled back into the end zone. And man, hey, listen, I'm trying to win by any means necessary.
Yeah.
I'm bringing them up under all kind of charges.
All right, so the Curtis Samuel catch that was ruled inbounds, Adam Goss, thank you, buddy, for tweeting us this. Because, again, at this point, me and Fred, to go inside radio here for you, nobody cares about this.
Yep, you're right.
We're down here in the stadium like everybody else. We're watching it from the Jumbotron, and we're not getting any type of replay explanations or anything. We're just hearing a lot of drunk fans screaming at Fred at this point. And it says apparently what they said in the broadcast was he was going backwards, therefore – he could not be getting out of bounds when he was pulled. Anyway, so that's why they did it that way. I don't know. The other one is from our man Bonsta, who wants to know, since the phones are down, if there is 2 pots on the Monday morning U-Haul team, who you packing up, Fred?
Ooh, who am I packing up on this all U-Haul team?
Oh, boy.
Hey, listen, we talked about the left guard. The left guard ought to be packing his piano, his washer and dryer, everything. We sending him back to Pennsylvania, baby. All U-Haul team. And listen, you know this, my guy.
Uh-oh.
I hate to say
this.
No. $1 bill Jackson,
boy.
the third. He worth every penny. Right now, we might have to crank up that diesel.
Do you think it was just, though, today they wanted to play 3 safeties, right? Because of you have Derrick Henry out there. So you got Curl in the field, you got McCain, and you got Forrest. Do you think it was more of a three safeties thing? And then,
no
matter how you break it down, that means he is the fourth corner.
Yes.
Well, actually, the wild goose was out in front of him.
It's just like your girlfriend tells you she only
like
cheated on you today because you made her mad. No, she had been cheated on you mentally and physically. All right. At the end of the day, they were cheating on Dollar Bill the third. They was waiting. You know how your girl waiting on you to make that one mistake, and you have went to the territory of no return. That's what they was waiting on. And now I don't know how to respond from that because St. Juice. Excuse me.
Yeah.
He's not into giving jobs back.
No, he's not, right?
He's been playing well. Kendall Fuller. I didn't see his name get called today, so evidently he did his job. Brian McCain is a question. All right, what are you going to do with Brian
What about
McCain?
that deep ball that he was a part of?
He lost it in there. And that's the thing. You got to have ball skills. You got to find that ball because he was on top of the play. He ended up spinning around and becoming behind the play. And I think that's that's one of them plays you look at and you like, oh, my God, I really missed that play. That's supposed to be an interception.
All right, let's get to phones. We're gonna roll the dice here. 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003 if you're with us on YouTube.
We got to pay for
Hello. It is getting cold. You might see us shivering on set. Let's go to Rob right now at FedEx. What's happening, Rob?
Yeah, I'm a little bit away from FedEx now. Thanks for taking the call, guys.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's watching this team the last few weeks, I don't know what more the defense can ask, from the offense. You can't produce over 20 points. You can't produce 24 points. And I know we're talking about injuries and we're talking about penalties in the offensive line, but at some point we can't keep giving Scott Turner such an easy ride for these performances because there are, I would estimate there's probably 25 offensive coordinators better than him in the league, maybe even 31. Certainly plenty of other offensive coordinators with better personnel. Worse personnel. We played a team with worse personnel. Fine, King Henry, all in great. He's an amazing running back, but they lost their number one wide receiver to Philly. The guy they drafted to replace him is injured. They got nobody to receive the ball, and they scored more points than us. Next week we're playing Chicago. They have absolutely no playmakers. It's one of the worst offenses in the league, and if they are schematically looking better than us, then the conversation has to be about Turner. And one other thing I wanted to talk about just on the defensive side, the lack of turnovers. I don't understand it because we're getting pressure on the quarterback. I don't know why, in terms of the secondary, they invested in guys that like Bobby McCain, William Jackson III. When they had guys in-house, I'm thinking like Ronald Darby, I'm thinking the People's Corner, guys who were playing pretty well, and you give these big contracts to these guys, and they don't show up, and you need them to show up. So I'm going to shut up now. I'll let you guys take it from there.
Okay. Listen, there's a lot of personnel things you can question. There you go down the list. Darby, I think, got more money
at the Broncos.
That's when he wanted to go.
Yeah,
I think it was his decision. He got the Broncos first.
Now Moreland was a different story. Moreland could have been somebody that could have helped you right here. I understand that. But the real thing is, they're right. We just played against the Tennessee Titans, who wide receiving core was Robert Woods.
Yeah.
And
coming off ACL, by the way. Late season ACL.
And the faceless men. All right? Yeah. They had no one. All right? If you can't stop the Tennessee Titan wide receiver, it's no
But they have an identity. They have an identity. They've had a system in place for many years that's been their identity. It's Derrick Henry and everything else, right? They don't have A.J. Brown this year. Tannehill, though, today didn't run at all. He usually can beat you with his legs. He didn't have to even do that today. But you're right. I mean, look, the season started with everybody going, hey, Jack Del Rio's in the hot seat, and he started the season when you were like, yeah, he's still in the hot seat. And then, yeah, you know what? His unit's actually getting better, whereas, yes, the offense has gotten worse for 2 weeks today. There were some big plays, but Tennessee, by the way, coming into the day was one of the worst teams and getting hit for big plays, worse than the Commanders, believe it or not. And obviously they hit for some big plays.
I played for one Greg Williams, and if we would have played the faceless men of Tennessee today, Greg Williams said Fred Smoot, Sean Springs, Carlos Rogers, y'all ain't got no help. Man to man, we're going 8 in the box. We're going to force Tannehill to throw the ball. We're not going to let King Henry, the mountain that runs, we're not going to let him get ahead of momentum. We're going to force them to be uncomfortable and put that. And if you can't do that in the next 2 weeks, if you cannot shut down this wide receiver core, I don't think you shut him down, and you can't shut down the Bears wide receiver core, two of the worst wide receiver
You're canceling Christmas is what you're saying.
In the game. You can't. No, they're telling me you can't stop anybody.
All right, let's go to Khalil in Richmond next. Khalil, thanks for waiting. You're next up here on the Commanders postgame show.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? You like Fred said, man. They had Robert Woods, and we got to play a guy like Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. I blame this game solely on like the coaching staff, because the coaching staff just pretty much put this team together when it came to Andrew Norwell and Nick Martin, botched snaps, and Bobby McCain constantly get beat that deep downfield. Derek Forrest played pretty good on that deep ball earlier in the game, but then Bobby McCain come around and got spun around.
Forrest did a good season. Forrest has been good.
Exactly.
And we talk a lot about young players on this team, and it's actually not the young guys that make mistakes. This is what grinds my gears. I keep hearing about the young people. The young people have actually done some good things. It's the veterans that continue to screw this team week in and week out.
It's the old people in your family. Imagine showing up to the family reunion.
It's the veterans that make mistakes every freaking week. It's not the young players. Unbelievable. We talk about young players all the time, and it's the vets that keep screwing it up every week. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Hey, you get what you pay for sometimes. Hey, you get what you pay for. One time I went to Foot Locker and bought a used pair of shoes. Thought I was buying a new pair of shoes, but when I got home, found out they was used. All right, it happens sometimes. It happens.
Anyway. All right, let's get to CB in New York before we break. How you doing, CB?
Yes,
CB,
sir.
Yeah, what's happening?
Are you talking to us on CB?
I'm not doing too well, Freddie. I'm a disgusted fan, man. I called you guys after the Detroit loss a couple of weeks ago. I'm a lifelong Washington fan.
That was a good loss back in the day.
I'm a lifelong Washington fan, man. It's probably the first time I've ever even considered. I'm just disgusted. Like, I'm at a loss. Like, at some point, bro, like, somebody has to be held accountable. All of the same. Before I get into that, let me ask you this, Fred. Can you do me a favor? Because I know you have more access than we do. If you get in a private or public conversation with Coach Rivera, which I admire and respect a lot, can you tell him to stop saying one statement after each game after we lose? Stop saying I need to look at the video before I know what happened. Like that, he needs to eliminate that from his talk. I'm so tired of hearing that. When you see the same stuff every week, you don't need to look at no video. You don't even look at video.
Hey, I know what you mean. I remember when I got caught cheating. I tried to tell her we need to look at the video before we make any hasteful decisions right now. I totally know what you mean.
Hey, now let me give our fans some cold hard truth, man. Like I said, I'm a lifelong fan. This is the reality. In life, they tell you when somebody show you who they are, believe who they are. Mm-hmm. But as fans, our emotions get involved as fans, and we have those rosy glasses on. It don't allow us to do it the first and second or 10th time, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm a big fan of Ron Rivera. I was excited about the hire when he was brought over. I thought that we would finally have an adult in the room of making decisions, somebody who's a football man, all related to that.
Yep.
But I have now come to because when it's constantly penalties and just dumb football from a mental perspective, either you've lost the room or they're not paying attention. Either way, it's not a good look. And no matter how I feel about Ron as a man, as a human, he's not getting the job done as a coach. We can break it down to say this player's not doing that, this, that. Like, we can get into all of the individual breakdown. But ultimately, who's responsible when the team continues to make dumb mistakes, dumb penalties, poor clock management? That all comes down to coaching. And we need to stop not looking at it for what it is. They've shown us who they are. This is who they are. We are a poor IQ team. We make dumb mistakes at the wrong time. That's not going to change.
I got to ask you this. I got to ask you this. If you had to pick one out of the other, which one is you think making the most mistakes? Is it the coaching or is it the Carson Wentz? Is it the quarterback? Coaching, quarterback. Which one?
You ask me which one is making the more mistakes?
Yeah, is it Carson Wentz? Or is it you think Carson Wentz is being put in bad positions by the coaching staff? Which one?
I think more mistakes are being made by the coaching staff on both sides of the ball. But I think Carson Wentz, we all know what his reputation. He has a good side and a bad side. That's why, he's unpredictable as far as when that comes. Like today, for instance. Today was a microcosm of what everybody's, opinion of Carson is. Put up stats. He reminds me a lot of Kirk Cousins when we had Cousins. Kirk Cousins put these beautiful numbers up.
that's Jack Boy. Don't talk about Kirk like that.
No, I'm just
no.
This is what I'm saying, Smoot.
We're
You
3
got
games below 500.
again. You putting your Kirk.
Way too accurate to be Kirk Cousins, man. He's way too inaccurate to be Kirk Cousins.
They're similar in this way.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're similar in this way, Fred. Like, the reason I wanted us to get rid of Kirk, I could not trust him to come up in the big.
Well, no, part of it was the money. Part of it was the money, and the other part was he didn't want to be here. Those two things kind of went together. But now you're not only overpaying a guy, but you have to coach around him. Okay, and that's the tough part of all this. I mean, we're like talking each week, like, "Hey, man, we got to de-emphasize our quarterback," and we just went out and you took a receiver, a number one in the first round. You spent on your other receiver, and now you're telling me you got to de-emphasize the quarterback, who you also gave him draft picks to get in here, and ate up a lot of your cap that you had to cut 2 players that were starters. Well, one was a rotational starter, in a sense, on defense, and Ioannidis.
We ain't gonna take up for Kirk Cousins, not on this channel. At the end of the day, if you got a pair,
nobody's taking up for him. I'm just telling you, this, whatever. However you want to cut it, none of it's good. This is a worse version of that.
If you got a pair of stinky feet, it don't matter if you the left foot or the right foot. You smell the same. And Kirk Cousins stink. All right, let's be honest about it. It don't matter how bad the stink is. All I'm saying is this.
You would take that level of quarterback play right now, though.
If I had to choose right now between Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins, I am choosing Carson Wentz. He's cheaper. All right. Most definitely. He's like $200 million.
You can get out of the relationship at the end of the year. That's what you know about it on the cheap. So, by the way, the loss today means this team will enter November without a winning record for the 22nd time in the last 30 seasons.
Did I have something to do with them 22?
Yes, you did. You had a lot to do with it. 22 of the last 30. We know how great November is. It's the problem is surviving until then here in September and October these last few seasons.
Well, I'm sorry for the Novembers that I had something to do with.
Somebody just sent me the draft order breakdown. That's where we are, folks, here on the 9th
and
of
where
October.
would we be right now?
We'd be picking 3rd, according to this gentleman.
Ooh, that's quarterback territory.
Well, I think you got a quarterback in-house you should play before you get to that point. But anyway.
Samuel Howell.
Right, let's take a timeout. Let's get to the podium version of Ron Rivera coming up. And, just to finish up with the last call, look, of course it ends and starts with Ron Rivera. He's not only the coach, he's got in charge of personnel. It's coach-centric. It's all his. Absolutely.
He picking the groceries, and he's cooking the dinner.
It's not an unfair position to take. And, yes, at some point that'll be handled. It's not going to happen during the season.
No, it's not going to happen.
And I don't – look.
No need for it.
We can say or bitch and gripe about all the coordinators, but all 3 of them right now are getting it done. I mean, all 3 phases have hurt this team today and every other week. All 3 phases have been bad. And
nobody's been great.
Nobody's been really consistent.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's been consistent, the lack of consistency. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you for your call. We'll get back to some calls in the next hour. We'll hear from the head coach coming up from the podium. The YouTube team is saying goodbye. They're going to happy hour. They're so lucky. They're the best people I know.
They
took our pizza, and now they're going to happy hour.
Cheddar biscuits for everybody. You know where they go to Red Lobster. That's where they like to hang out at.
Fred and I will continue for another hour with you here. Commiserate with us. You're listening to the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
Biscuits.